Well, good morning, everyone. Sorry I can't be with you for church this morning, but how do I put it? You don't want what I've got at the moment. I've been hit by a pretty nasty cold and haven't had the COVID test result back yet, and so the instruction is to stay isolated, not spread it around. And even if it is just a cold, I don't want to spread that around either. Lots of people are helping out this morning. If you're one of those who are reading the Bible or leading in prayer or doing something, there's a little slip of paper with the order of service on it. And so when it comes up to those things, you might need to jump up. Usually I introduce those things, but we'll need to show some initiative today. And I'm thankful. I think it's biblical that the church is not reliant on one person. I'm not the priest. We're all together are a body of believers. And so to have lots of different people serving this morning is really fantastic, and so I'm thankful for that. I hope that on the way in you may have received one of these sheets with song words, and so they're the songs for today. That'll be especially helpful for people with issues with eyesight, or they're not able to see the screen for whatever reason. We want people to sing. It's a command of God, but it's also a great joy as we sing together God's praises. And so we want to keep equipping people and encouraging people to do that. The other thing you might have received on the way in is one of our new newsletters for June. Lots of things happening. A lot of people going away over the next few weeks with long weekends and school holidays. So I'll take a couple of minutes to talk through some things there. We're continuing in Romans 8. Into term 3, we'll start in the book of Daniel. So the readings are there. The people who are reading them, prayers, all those sort of things, those roster things in the middle of the newsletter. I've included on the front of the newsletter the What Guides Us little paragraph. They're the vision and values type information that we settled on a couple of years ago. It's still current. These still are the ways that we think, what should we be doing? What should we be tackling? What do we need to let go of? Those sort of questions. In the middle, of course, is the roster and the mission prayer points. I especially love the nationally one, that God would use our circumstances to prompt us to turn to Him. That's a great prayer. And I wanted to speak through a number of the items on the back. One of the things that's been added to the roster is morning tea. Now, Nardis and Feline have done a fantastic job. I'm very thankful for the way they've set up morning tea and served us week by week. Not just because they're going away for a little break, but partly because it's a great opportunity to serve. We're wanting people to help with that, to go on a roster so we can serve morning tea. We're actually a little bit stuck for next week. Liz may be able to jump in and do that. It'd be great to have people who are strong to be able to move tables around and chairs. We're looking, and I'm thinking about how we might lessen the setup of all of that. So as you look around morning tea, it's a wonderful time to welcome newcomers to church, to encourage people, get to know each other. And so it's just really wonderful. There's a note there that during winter we can expect some poor weather. We've had some rain the last couple of days. I think it'll be nice tomorrow at church. But the elders decided that because we wanted people to be at morning tea, we're going to trial on those cold, wet days when outside is not going to work, going to trial serving morning tea in the church building. We could go over to the hall, but there's not enough room for everyone, and it tends to be that visitors and parents with young kids don't make the trip over there. We don't want to exclude anyone from our gathering at all in any way. So we thought it'd be a little bit more accessible in the church building. So we'll try that and see how it goes. If you can help out with morning tea, that'd be fantastic. You can contact me or Feline's numbers there. Number of other things. I'm just going to take a break for a moment. Hang on. Back in. That's the things with colds. You get short of breath after a while. A couple of things I really wanted to not miss pointing out though. Hazel Brown, it was a long-term member of our church, member of the PWA. She's been living in Canada for a number of years, has been unable to get to church. She made it to 103, but she went to be with Jesus last Monday, and her death will be sorely missed, of course. So we are having a memorial service for her on the 10th of June at 10 a.m. Some of us who've been around for a while will remember Harley and Marilyn, her son-in-law and daughter, and the family will be coming up for a memorial service Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Just a reminder that the Musos, we've been talking about having a training day for a while. We've kind of set a date out in the future, and hopefully you can put that in your diary. The 10th of July. I've mentioned singing already, and our Musos serve us really well by accompanying us singing, and so we're going to have a training and a practice day on the 10th of July. I wanted to mention the survey, of course, that went out a couple of weeks ago. It's due soon. So long weekend, I think the 13th is the cut-off date there. If you need a paper copy, they're available up the back of church. If you've got the link already to do that electronically, a number of people have done it electronically, so feel free to do that. If you need the link, you can get in touch with me. It's connected to those values things that I mentioned, that idea of just being intentional and thinking through what we do as a church and how we can do it better and what maybe we need to stop doing and let go of that's not serving us very well. I wanted to mention Surge Camp, so I'll be away again next weekend. The timing's unfortunate, and so no Yibes that week. Nigel Gillen will be preaching for us in Romans, and Jeff's going to lead for us. And finally, but importantly, I've got a few minutes on, but importantly, I wanted to mention the finance update. Pretty much every month, occasionally we skip a month, but pretty much every month we provide updated figures about our offerings, our income, our expenses, and where things are at in terms of breaking even for the year. Jeff McQuiggan is our treasurer. He's happy to answer any questions you might have. I did want to point out that our insurance costs have gone up substantially. I won't say skyrocketed, but it feels like that. They're really a massive jump compared to last year, and it's always a significant expense for us. And there's been an anonymous donation of $5,000 to help cover those. It doesn't go the whole way even, and Jeff can tell you the exact figure for the insurance. But it's a fantastic donation, I think, a spirit of generosity. And I mention it because the person who gave it wanted to inspire other people, to encourage people that what we're doing is important and we want to support it. There's lots of ways that we support the work of the gospel in our church in Mudgee. And so there are people who contribute in their prayers, in their physical work, in their conversations, in their skills in teaching the Bible to our kids or leading Bible study. There's all sorts, too many to mention. One of the important ways, though, that we need to not lose sight of is the generous giving of money. And so at the moment we're a little bit better than breaking even for the year. And so I mention it hopefully to inspire people, encourage people to give generously because God loves that. And if you want to have a conversation about that, I'm happy to talk about it. It's one of those tricky sort of topics that we sometimes shy away from, but Jesus doesn't. And the scriptures don't shy away from talking about it, so I wanted to mention that this morning. Really sorry to be missing seeing you face to face, but I'll be out of action for a couple of days and look forward to catching up with you soon. God bless.